listening to Cleveland and Beyond with Andy Billman and Jared Watson, brought to you by Evergreen Podcasts.
He's Andy Billman. I'm Jared Watson, and this podcast is brought to you by Waiting for Next Year. Check them out, original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. Also, we are proud to be a part of Evergreen Podcasts. Almost forgot, we're also live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Let's just jump right into things today. We're not going to talk about the Browns. We're not going to talk about the Cavs. It's been a couple weeks since we've done a show, and there's a lot of weirdness going on just with the Indians, whether it be the way that they played over those last 9 games into the 2 games they won against the Royals, the injuries, which obviously have made this just a difficult past month or so. And then you've got the article coming out in The Athletic that's discussing whether the Indians are going to move or whether they're going to stay, and how they've got no money and they need an influx of cash through a minority owner or something. I mean, Andy, there's just a lot going on with the Indians. Oh, and don't forget, we don't know what they're going to be called. So let's just go ahead and roll this episode right into it. It's all about your Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland Indians.
Cavs and Browns fans who listen to us, stick around. You're going to learn a lot about the Indians today.
Well,
I would
think most of us,
right.
All of it.
I'll lead off with, we said this all year, and I know I did. This is a year of transition, and the Indians are certainly in transition. At times, you feel really good, and you get excited even by Eli Morgan's start. Who's he? Well, if you've been watching all year, he's one of our starting pitchers. We got Mejia, who's in there. That Mejia who starts now, too. So there's been a good transition. You've seen some good things like Bobby Bradley. It's been exciting to see him. And there's also some good things going on with J-Ram. Hey, Matthew, good to see you. And good to see you, EJ, as well.
What's up, guys?
So there's a lot of good things with the Indians. It gets hard and weighted in there because is it a playoff team? I've been very wishy-washy. I'm going to be probably more of this. Probably not. And that's okay. But there's been some good things that you can see from the Indians, and there's some things that you take positive. The starting pitching, because of injuries, has been a downer. All that to be said. So that's on the field. We're going to get more on that in a second. There's an article today in The Athletic. So for the Athletic subscribers, and the headline reads, Indians nearing lease deal amid uncertainty about future in Cleveland, which they assorted a bunch of sources that they have. There's some really respected reporters who do this article. And here's my take on it. I'm doing this film War on the Diamond, so I've researched a lot of Indians past since 1901, where they weren't the Indians. They were the Blues and the Napa Joys. I actually will say this confidently. We'll go through all the topics. This is not the first rodeo for the Indians having these kind of questions. In fact, it was happening at the time when Jim Dunn bought the team. Who was that? That was the owner who bought the team in 1915. The Indians had that kind of issues going way, way, way back. My point is there's always been a consistent about the Indians plus year history of owners not having enough money, Indians moving, what's going to happen with the team. This has been going on for 100 plus years. So this is not new. In fact, this happens quite a bit to the team. So I don't take any of this. I hate to say it. I respect the guys who do the reporting a lot. I don't agree with the article at all. The Indians aren't going anywhere. The Indians are going to be staying right here. The Indians have a big history of this stuff. You can go into different facets of it and whatever else. But this is a 100-year plus history. You can go into the 70s, which the Maletti years. You can go into when it transitioned over to Jacobs, who saved the team, who brought us what we have today, into the Dolans, into again. You can pick throughout time. Bill Veeck had to get out of there because he had money issues. There's all these different times, Jared, in the Indians' history where this comes up quite a bit. So this is not the Indians' first rodeo in 100 years. So that's how I take out this article. We'll go down. We'll break it down. I don't mean to demean it. I think people should read it. I don't take anything to heart in this article. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, this is the point, though, and this is the rumor that we've heard that seems to be the one that is pervasive is that they're going to Nashville, right?
That's the new one.
I thought that was the one that I thought I've heard that one for a while, to be honest. I didn't know that was it. I don't think it's newer, but it's been around for a little bit, hasn't it?
Sure. I mean, my point is, like, it was New Orleans in the 70s, and the 80s it was Miami. You're hearing it Nashville. Through all my research, Miami was real. because the Indians were threatened by Vincent and others. Like, you have to get a new stadium. If you don't, we're actually going to allow the team to move to Florida. Miami was going to be the choice, it sounded like, in the mid to late 80s.
And we know what that did, because the Indians got their stadium, the Browns did not. And
away we go. We won't relive that history, but yeah, tobacco, right. the tobacco and alcohol sales. New Orleans really was never a thing. In my opinion, I think there were some like rumors and hearsay. I don't know. I don't think that was very real, in my opinion. I feel like this is actually even less real than that. I don't think it's anything.
Maybe they're trying to make it real because of the very real money issues. That's the only connection that I can come up with is, are we trying to give this legs that it doesn't have because there is a very real issue, at least according to the Dolans? I guess it is pretty obvious at this point. The Indians do have a money issue.
Well, they publicize it. So, right.
So, but at the same time, you're talking about, the Dolans. This is the longest ownership group that the Indians have ever had.
Correct.
Correct. So there's that issue. They're fifth generation Clevelanders. There's no reason to believe that the Dolans want to leave Cleveland. So I can't see why they would. On top of that, when we talk about the new deal for Jacobs Field, for Progressive Park, for whatever you want to call it, they are looking at this park as being not a place that you knock down and build again. They know that
Correct.
That's not even a possibility, not going to happen. But it is. The good news is this is a place that has a lot of character. This is a place that has a lot to be excited about when you go to the ballpark. They have made changes that have, affected how I watch the game when I go. I love what they did out in right field. I love some of the upgrades and changes. Now, I do think they got to do something with the upper deck. It looks a little weird still. But point being, this is going to be one of those nostalgic parks. This is where the article goes into things that I agree with regarding, it being like Wrigley, it being like, some of those other ballparks that are going to hang around for a while because they are kind of a landmark. The toothbrush lights stand out. It's the first thing you see coming into Cleveland. So that in itself is almost relieving, because it's like, okay, well, we know that they put money into the upgrades for the stadium. We know that we're not going to be fighting with the city to try to come to an agreement on getting a new stadium. So it's another reason why the team's not going to go anywhere. They're not going anywhere.
I'm telling you, from everything I know, everything I read into, Dolans will never sell this team to someone who's going to move it. They're never going to do it. Never. And by the way, this article kind of confirmed it through that one Indian source saying the same thing. Again, there's a lot of things that Jared said I agree with. It is a jewel. It really stands out. They also, as Jared pointed out, an article. I think the bigger point to this article, to me, reading in between the lines, is will the Indians spend money again? That's what I kind of got out of the article. Is will this, and I think the bigger discussion here that I don't want to do too much today, but the looming strike. To me, that's really the bigger story here. It's not so much the Indians. You can lump in Kansas City, Pittsburgh, lump in Milwaukee. I would lump in even the Cubs. The Cubs are having some big money issues too. There's a lot of Midwestern clubs who are having money issues. Those are just to name a few. And there's a big disparity right now between what markets can make for cable dollars and advertisement dollars in New York and LA compared to what they can make in Cleveland and Kansas City and Pittsburgh and Detroit. Detroit's another one. And I think that's where the bigger issue is going to be, because, they share revenue, yes, but they don't share revenue dollars and ad dollars to these cable networks who can get bigger dollars in these bigger markets. There's a big discussion that needs to be had there. I'm actually going to pound that drum more. That needs to be discussed more on a big level. And it's a big disparity. The baseball does not have a good sharing money system. I'm sorry. People have tried to tell me to blue the face it's fair. I don't think it's fair at all. And I think the money disparity really, really, really shows that big time. And that's why I'm telling you, this baseball system is broken. There's a big disparity and differences between owners and players. That's clear. I think there's also a big disparity between small owners and big owners. And I'll leave it there. I do, in my opinion.
I think that those are the two, off the field issues. You can also lump in some other things where me personally, I want to see Major League Baseball almost tear it down to the studs and figure it out, because we can transition over to on the field issues that have driven me absolutely nuts, whether it be holding players or teams accountable for cheating, whether it be coming up with new rules on what substances that pitchers can use to tack up the ball a little bit, or whether it be some of the issues in regard to trying to sweep under the rug some of the pretty awful transgressions that have gone on over the past couple of years. There is not one area of Major League Baseball that I can look to that really makes me smile right now. I mean, I just don't see anything that I really am okay. Like, there's just a lot. I mean, it all goes right back to Manfred. But at the end of the day, Andy, this is going to be something that you said it. There's going to be a looming. The looming strike is there. It's going to happen. If they don't come up with some sort of better revenue sharing agreements or anything like that, then then the strike is really going to hurt even more and those teams.
It goes far bigger than the Indians, and they kind of alluded to it towards the end of the article. And I forgot to mention two teams who are really in this, and one I saw in person: Tampa Bay and Oakland. They have also bigger issues. They kind of mentioned in the article. I think they have much bigger issues than the Indians. Going into Tampa. Have you ever been to Tampa, Tropicana?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
It is one of the most bizarre professional league parks I've ever been to. Because when you walk in there, and I've heard this, and it's true, you feel like you're in a minor league park. And it's very, very... Now, there's an intimacy you like, but it doesn't feel like a big league game. It just doesn't. Like, it doesn't feel like a bit. And I was asking vendors, I'm like, well, what's your average attendance? They go, anywhere from 10, 15,000. The other night, the Indians averaged 20 plus back-to-back nights. The Rays can't even sniff 10, 15. Like they said, like 15 is a big night. The A's are having horrific issues with that building.
What's going on, Kevin? How you doing, Kevin? Good to see you.
Hey, Kevin. So there are teams. I guess my point is the article. And by the way, people can take it whatever you want. My bigger thing in this article is not about the Indians moving. I wouldn't really read too much of that at all. The bigger story is Tampa, Oakland, Cleveland, Kansas City, all these teams. How are they going to – is it really going to become like a small market Major League Baseball and a big market Major League Baseball? Because of COVID, which we touched upon last year, I think that's really been expanded. I think that's really excelled. And by the way, there's even one club, the Cubs. They're having money issues. Big money issues. Big.
Is it me, or is the league just leaving these teams to figure it out on their own right now?
Well, that's why I think this strike is much more complicated than what people make it out to be at times. And I mean, I'm sure people have heard this podcast tell me, and so I'm going to do the same drum beat. There's a lot to untangle here. I think there are contracts. There's something that got brought up by Hammy, on the, God, was it Saturday? I guess it was Saturday, and he brought up a good point for players who are getting suspended by drugs. Yes, they don't get paid during that time, but they still get their full contract guaranteed afterwards when they come back. That's something. Because some of these contracts are not cheap. So if you're Irvin Santana and you come over from the Angels to the Twins, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago, and then you don't even make a start for 80 games to get suspended for steroids. And the Twins think about that happened to the Indians. Oh, you can't even handle that kind of stuff. There's a lot of issues like that need to be discussed, because baseball players, and I think they've earned it. They have earned it. They make really good money. Really, really, really good money. So the thing I just don't understand is, why can't the Indians have some of that same money opportunity that the Packers do on the NFL level, that the Indians just can't even? I mean, they're not even in that circle right now. I mean, they're right now. Terry Pluto put it in his article over the week, I guess on Monday or Sunday. They are right now, the Indians are in second to last. Yes, the Pirates are at 46. Yep, Pirates. The Tribes at 49.6. Yeah, 49.6 for payroll. I mean, that's pretty low. It's pretty low. I think that's the bigger discussion with me in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Afternoon, Damien.
It didn't. What's going on, Damien? It didn't. I didn't get warm and fuzzies even going to see the Mahoning Valley Scrappers on the 5th either, to be honest. Seeing what's happened to that league and how it's
here's a differentiation, but you're in the majority actually. I have loved this baseball season, actually. I know people are going to say, really? I really have. I think this team's very likable. I really enjoy watching the Indians this year.
Oh, yeah. I will gladly.
I have very realistic expectations with this team, so I feel very good about where they're at. When you talk to the Indians, I spent some time with a few of the players and coaches. They're very down. The injuries have really beaten this team up. It has really grinded them. To be said, though, like that's very fair. I mean, this team's gone through injuries and back, and they don't have the depth they used to. And it's been exposed. All you said, I've really enjoyed this team.
I have absolutely. This is where, Andy, I don't disagree with this. The way that this team has played, despite their defensive woes.
Oh, my God.
The way that this team has played and the way that these guys, I know that they're figuring things out. We've talked about it a million times that they're not going to figure out this lineup and it's probably going to be even longer now. I was going to say until shortly after the All-Star break. Now it might even go, into late August or whatever. The issue, I have slowly gotten more excited about it. I do feel like this Indians core, like this team, like finally bringing up the Daniel Johnsons, bringing up, Bobby's nice to see develop.
Does anybody miss Jake Bauer?
No.
Anybody clutching?
And do I think the Indians pitching over the next, the Indians pitching's gonna be okay? Once Bieber, Savale, Plesac, once that stuff. Yeah, it's been rough. I'm glad to see McKenzie have a great start last time out.
Great start.
He's gonna be okay. It's his second year. We've talked about this.
He's a star. I'm telling you, that's what we saw on Friday night. That kid is gonna be a star.
So the Indians themselves, the team that they are putting out there, even through the 9-game losing streak, as frustrating as that was, I do enjoy watching them. I do enjoy this team. So I'm with you on that. But I am tired. It is just so hard. Like, I have to have tunnel vision. I can only watch the team, only think of the team, and that's it. Every other aspect of baseball, whether it be operations of the team, whether it be the league, whether it be, umpires, and I want robots behind home plate. I'm so over it. And you would have considered me a baseball purist for the longest time. No, I just want things to be done right. And so that's what's made things so difficult for me, is just seeing everything else. I feel like every time I'm feeling like, yeah, I like baseball. Because I do, it's in my blood. I love watching the Indians. Yeah. And then something comes up and I'm like, oh, I fucking hate this league. I fucking hate the league right now. I just do. There's just too much to be angry about.
Kevin Atkins, no money ball, right, Andy? The Indians don't have really a choice, Kevin. What I mean by that is, like, for their economical and fiscal reasons, not only they have to play money ball, they must do it to live. And I mean, look, I'll say this: the Indians actually have the right touch. And what I mean by that is they are analytical, but boy, is Tito Francona a nice even out of that process, boy. He does a very nice job of bringing that right down the first baseline. I'll use a baseball term. He really keeps it baseball level. I like that about Francona a lot. So I wouldn't. Yes, there's Moneyball, but don't get too beat up on it. EJ Scalata from EJ, good friend of the show, Facebook. Just watch for the umpteenth time. Love it. Brad, just stop it and give some pointers. Actually, there's been some arguments, EJ, that even though obviously it's been kind of, a lot of people think it's done by Mr. Bean over in Oakland. There's a lot of people within the game, not me, not Jared, people who actually study the game, who are very real reporters and historians, who the Indians have a big, big, big hand starting in 06, 07 of where this game is, and big part of it is because of the analytics. And I know people don't want to hear this, but it's true. The Indians really do a great job front office wise. We say it a lot of the show. Mm-hmm. Antonetti, Turnoff, Francona, they are very bright. We're very, very lucky to have them. They are great, great baseball minds. And they have really done a nice job of keeping this team afloat. And I'm telling you, if you would have told me in mid-May, it was late May, it was early June. There's no more Savali, no more Plesac, and no more Bieber. and Logan Allen sucks, and so does Tristan McKenzie, and you're going to be above 500 by the All-Star break. I would have laughed, and you're not going to make a trade for a starting pitcher. And yet the Indians are. I don't know how they do it. I'm at the point I'm like, I can't explain this.
We've got to get that out of the way too. There will be I don't see no moves. There's no moves. Cesar Hernandez, there's not going to be any moves. I don't think so.
Well, there's a lot of discussion. Here's my teeter-totter. The Indians are in a very tough spot. I'll break down the midway point, but there's one. I don't think they're buyers at all. The Indians are in a tough spot. If you we'll take Cesar Hernandez off your hands, and you can get a good prospect back. It can be tempting.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
it's gonna be
nothing for this season though.
But here's another one. Would I? And Terry Pluto gave me the idea, so I'm going to give it a credit. Hernandez I thought about. So I'm like, I can see someone wanting him. Would I trade Eddie Rosario?
Yeah.
I think these things. I think it's more seller. I really do. I think there's going to be teams that are going to knock. And he's getting a few prospects back. Here's the thing. I think the lineup is close. And I know people are like, whoa, don't get your car touch. I think that's close. Harold Ramirez has helped out a lot.
Yep.
Zimmer's defense has helped out a lot.
Yep.
And then you got the old position of like, just pick a day, and you're gonna have Oscar Mercado, who's not playing terribly, and a couple other people playing the outfield. I almost at this point am used to the outfield. I'm actually there. I know Pluto and some others are still. I understand they're frustrated. The outfield to me is way closer than I ever thought it would be. Because even I'm saying like, I would like Eddie Rosario there. Would can I live without him to develop more? Yeah. Infield is Rosario. Owen Miller down the road. Hernandez is not coming back next year. And then they're going to and the first base is Bobby Bradley, and you got J-Ram. You cannot trade. Now there's the guy. You cannot trade J-Ram.
There's not a chance.
If you trade
right?
J-Ram, do not come on Cleveland and Beyond. Because I might slit my wrist.
I don't think
that's the guy.
I don't think that's even a possibility. Is it?
I really don't think so either. That guy can win you a World Series. EJ, did he really steal Jonah Hill's character from Cleveland? Yes, that is a true story. It wasn't the Tribe playing Moneyball. Yes, they were. There's a lot of Cleveland tentacles in the Moneyball era. Kevin Atkins, bank as much as they can for next year. A lot of people are drumming that beat, Kevin. Can't have a bottom payroll next year, Kevin says, and a lot of people are beating that drum roll. There's going to be a lot of I'm telling you, next year is going to be very, very different. There's a strike. It's going to be so different.
But that's what I'm saying is when we're talking about this, bank the money now, but next year we don't even know how this is going to pan out.
I would really forecast what Jared just said again. Next year is very wonky and weird and foggy. Very, very, very.
Is there a chance they don't even play next year?
Yes.
That's absolutely what I thought.
Absolutely. We could be here on
because we've already seen that players in ownership will fucking shoot each other. They'll shoot themselves in the foot every time too. When they've got something almost going, someone will tank it.
Yep.
It's already happened. So
at this point last year, we were playing Progressive Field preseason games to get the season ready. So I think they started winning late July. So there's a lot of arguments. Look, my whole thing is before we get into the other topics of on the field, off the field, I think the Indians might sell some players. I don't think they're going to buy anything. I don't see a player you can buy that automatically jumps this team into the playoffs, into the World Series hunt. I hate saying that, but I really believe that in my heart. Yeah. I really do. You don't have Bieber. You don't have Savali. They're not coming back till August, folks. August.
Yeah.
That's a wrong time.
But all of that said, Andy, again, watching this team has been
very fun team.
Not terrible.
Oh, Look,
I mean,
I'll be the first to tell you, Cavs games is like doing root canals.
no, Cavs games are brutal.
Just
Cavs games are all. Let's talk about trading Sexton too. Let's talk about him going. Garland going.
Oh, ready?
Team USA.
Okay.
Let's
We could do a whole.
Kevin Love couldn't play all year, but he'll be on Team USA too.
Look, why can't Colin Sexton come off the bench with Hartenstein? That would be such a big second team.
Right.
That's what the NBA is. Does anybody watch this game? If you have a second team that can come off the floor and do what you can do what I'm talking about, if you have Sexton, Hartenstein coming off your bench, holy shit,
Yeah.
the Cavs look good.
All right, that's
don't have to trade him.
So you're saying with the Indians 8 back right now, do you even see in dealing with not having starting pitching? I mean, their bats have been improved.
Ready for this? Let's play a trivia game. How much of a difference is it between the Yankees and Indians in runs scored?
Oh goodness, I don't know. But are the Indians?
The Indians are ahead of the Yankees for runs scored right now in the season. Let me repeat that. The Indians have scored more runs currently in 2021 season than the New York Yankees. The Indians have scored runs. They have scored runs. The Yankees are behind the Indians in runs scored. The Indians are giving up more runs. That's the problem. Because they're injured.
That's absolutely the issue.
If they had Savali, Bieber, Plesac, I think we'd be talking 2 or 3 games back, or maybe tied the White Sox.
Can we throw a uniform on Tyler Bibby right now? Can we just throw him out there?
Gavin from East Carolina. When can you come up to Cleveland? Take that, Justin. Look, here's the thing about the Indians. And I hate to do this, as I love this team. Here's their schedule coming out of the break. 3 at Oakland. Not been a pleasant place to visit lately. Don't flush the toilets twice. You might get sewage on your head. 3 more against the trash can beating team, the Astros in Houston. Mm-hmm. That last series did not go well.
No, not at all.
And then you go home to play the Rays again. I witnessed one of those games in person. And that series did also not go out well. Jared, if the Indians went 4-5 right now, I'd sign up for it right now.
Yeah.
I take 4-5. It's a tough stretch out of the break.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait till August 6th. Watch him play.
I think by the end of out of the end of these, my point is these first 9. I never say this. I think it's actually everything. If the Indians somehow can get to 5-4, let's get crazy 6-3. I can't even know how to get 6-3, but 6-3. Okay. I'm in. I just saw the Rays and Astros. I would take 4-5. They have not won in Oakland in years.
Mm-hmm. I know.
The Rays, it was bad. Bad. And then there's the Astros.
Yeah,
Jared,
I'm going through this. I'm just going through the schedule looking.
Yeah. I mean, it's my point is that's a brutal way to start off, and you're not getting Bieber and Savali in any of those starts. Eli Morgan in a big start in Oakland. I mean, I hate saying it, but that's what we're doing.
Crazy. I mean, you look at the AL Central overall, and the Indians,
they're fine.
Are nothing to complain about.
They're fine. The Twins have shit the bed. The Royals can't tell you what they're doing. Very, very. That team should not be that bad. Tigers, they're so.
Well, all three of those teams are on their way to being 20+ back.
They're celebrating Miguel Cabrera hitting home runs. I mean, what? That's the Tigers, Royals. By the way, Salvi Perez is a wonderful catcher for the Royals.
And the Indians had a winning record on the road and at home for almost the entire season. It's only until recently that they've dropped below 500 on their away games.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think they're transitioning the right way. This is how I thought the season was going to kind of play out. highs and lows, everything in between. The one thing I never would imagine is no Bieber, no Savali for most of the year, and that is.
Yeah, and I don't think I could have imagined that the defense would be as atrocious as it has been. Oh
my God! I found the stat today. I just want to confirm what you and I have been saying all year. I have it here in a rundown. It's 27th in fielding percentage. 27th.
Yeah.
I was shocked. It wasn't lower. That's pretty damn low. I mean, they've had
and a couple of those losses have been tough too. They had the lead. Clase had let one go. That was a tough one.
Here's the thing: people have been Instagram show Karen check Clase. If you pitch guys every fucking day out of the bullpen,
yeah.
We pitch Shaw every day. We pitch.
Yeah.
By the way, you have not had Wickren. I love him, Boilermaker. He has stunk this year. Love you, Nick. Love you. You've stunk. So you got Brian Shaw. I don't know how the hell he's pitching the way he is. You definitely Trevor Steffen's been better lately. Sandlin's I like Sandlin. Boy, I saw him in person in Tampa. I like that kid a lot in a big spot. Clase and Karinchak. But if you pitch him, Karinchak and Clase wins, pitch all the time. So if you keep pitching, you're going to get hit as bullpen guys. I learned that. I know probably Jared believes in too. You can't keep throwing bullpen guys every game.
I think that the cherry on top of everything outside of losing, all the starting pitching was, it really was watching the Josh Naylor play. That was one of the most difficult things that I've seen in a long time.
Poor guy's knee exploded, basically.
It was just
awful. And Josh is a nice kid.
I mean, he helicoptered and landed the way he did and snapped that leg. I just couldn't. Oh, it was heartbreaking because you know how much that guy, he goes 100% for rightly or wrongly at all times. He goes 110. He's a machine.
I love the kid.
And I love watching him hit too. The guy does not hit anything it's just solid hit. Ropes. So
yeah. Look, let's go. He was
coming into his own, and I think that really hurt the team too, obviously.
Oh, his spirit is missed. That kid plays hard. Oh, clearly. Clement, I like Clement. Owen Miller, give it time.
Yeah.
I would really give it time.
Oh, Owen Miller, yeah.
Oscar Mercado, nice bounce back. Yu Chang, nice man. Smiles. Nice.
Congratulations on your birth of your child.
Oh my God, beautiful guy.
Yep.
Beautiful guy. I heard Columbus is a great place to raise a kid.
Yeah.
Nice man, though. Nice man. Can't play baseball, but nicest man.
Oh, I won't be able to go to the games in the Detroit games at home. I forgot. I'll be at Lake County. I got one of my best friends is his stepdad is a coach for one of the teams that they're playing.
There you
go. Yeah.
But all that to be said, Francona and these team has really gutted out a lot. We talked about Bradley. I can't say enough about how much this bullpen has just blown me away. Clase is a star. Karinchak, if people listen, I love Karinchak. I tease. Yu Chang's a nice guy. There's some big gambles. There's some things that haven't worked out, but they've really processed it through. Again, you can nickel and dime the lineup. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm actually kind of satisfied or happy. I have been watch Harold Ramirez in person. That kid is a pro. Man, oh man, I liked him. And again, they didn't get a hit. The game I went to, what a surprise! Third
no hitter, except it doesn't count because it was a double. It was a double header, and they only played 7 innings. But that's a no hitter. Sorry, it's a no hitter.
There was more Indians fans of that game, and on the way out, I was coming out, and there's a woman who fell who had drinking a little too much lemonade, and her husband picked him up. She goes, "I am so injured." I'm like, and this is the end of the road trip. But that's the thing. I think you gotta laugh because, I mean, here's my other note to fans. I would have reasonable expectations. I'm telling you, if they make the playoffs, that's a huge marker.
Oh, absolutely.
Great year.
Thanks for coming.
Oh my
Love
God. If you get swept out by the Pale Hose or you get swept out by the Reds, hey, take care. Been a good run. Tip your cap. Bye-bye.
It was fun.
Hey, we couldn't even name our starting pitchers.
Well, and it's beautiful if that were even possible, because you're talking about giving these young guys a taste of that playoff baseball, and they're just going to come back hungry next season. If there's a season.
That's the thing. The stew is brewing. Like, okay, I'm bearing one other lead. My God, do I love Franmil Reyes. That kid. And Jose Ramirez is your leader. That guy is now officially a intentional walk once or twice or 3 times a week in a game.
Which was hilarious, by the way. You intentionally walk him to get to Franmil. Fine by me.
Franmil is on fire. Franmil Reyes, like there are some real pillars in this lineup. Finally, there's some real things.
How fun were those walk-offs?
Oh,
how fun!
Bobby Bow, bang!
Fucking rope, dude!
Bang!
It was a straight rope.
No,
and the bat flip.
Woo! Oscar Mercado hitting.
These are the things that make me smile about this season.
It
really is fun to watch some of these guys.
No, this is a fun team.
Yes.
Telling you, a very likable team.
I like them. Andy likes them.
I like this. I get a kick out of watching these guys. It's very. Hey, what's up, Matt? It's very. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're right, Matt. I'm.
Yes, Matt Brocious. Hello, my friend.
A
little swampy. This side of Shetland.
well, in Connecticut, it's very muggy too. As I was telling Jeff before we came on here, Connecticut and Ohio have the same weather right now. Cloudy, humid, rain. Cloudy, humid, rain. Rotate.
My hat is disgusting, by the way, because I wear it every day that I work on the house, and it's just gross.
Here's some other things I'll go into. Here's some other things I'll nickel and dime real quickly.
Yeah,
I've actually enjoyed Eli Morgan. I actually think there's a potential there. I've sung the praise of.
Sounds like a whiskey.
Yes, yeah, it does sound like a whiskey. I do want to say it again. I like Yu Chang as a person. He's a nice guy. Means well. Does good things for community. I've seen enough. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Nice man. We've tried.
It's a bummer. He looks the part. He's got a great personality.
He has great
he's the kind of guy that
numbers.
You root for easily.
You want him to do well. Yes. I really hope he goes somewhere and has a great career.
Sure.
I just don't think Cleveland's it. I gotta be honest. I just don't. I'd rather see Jimenez. I'd rather see Owen Miller. I'd rather see some of these other guys. Clement. I want more Clement. I'd rather see guys like that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Javius on Facebook. Imagine how the fun it would be without all the injuries. Yeah.
You can exclamation point and circle and highlight injuries. When you talk to Tom Hamilton, injuries. When you talk to coaches, injuries. Players, injuries. Everyone on that club talks about the injuries.
Matt Baroche is on Facebook. He's ready for the fall. He's ready for the Browns. I get it. Trust me. When
you break down where Baker Mayfield sat in a fight, that's how ready we all are to roll. And I'm not going to break it down.
Why was Chuck Liddell between him and his wife?
Oh, I don't care. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I was really surprised how much people got into that. I didn't. By the way, I'm not a UFC fan. I didn't even know what was going on. I don't care. And then I saw the pictures the next day. I'm like, oh God, I don't care about any of this. Don't care. I know. When can we roll the balls and play? I just was stunned by the amount of people talking about that. I mean, it was analyzed, breaking down photos.
Yeah, there's a certain GM without a job who was talking trash about a lot of quarterbacks around the league the other day too.
Who's that? I'm not even joking.
Can't remember what his name is. Somebody messaged me.
Yeah.
That tells you how much I care about the guy.
Yeah. But here's the final of the drum roll things. Sandlin, I mentioned. I'd keep your eye on him. I think that kid's gonna be a stud. Yeah. Kyle Quantrill's a starter today. He needs to be in the bullpen. Kyle Quantrill can come out of the bullpen. I don't think he's a starter.
Correct.
But right now he has to. So I'm not debating that. But next year, let's get him back in the bullpen. I'm surprised I'm here. I'm back on Zimmer plays. Zimmer doesn't play fence. It really swings from game to game to me because he is so wonderful defensively. God, he can play the outfield. His bat's been okay. Been okay.
I mean, the way
the outfield, though, my God, kid makes catches, and when he's in the outfield, Harold Ramirez and whoever's playing left field plays much better. It's amazing.
You know, we gotta acknowledge this too, Andy, is that around the league, it's not even just the Indians, and I don't know that we've talked about this a lot. It hasn't just been the Indians that have struggled at the plate. The league overall has become a pitcher's league. CBS Sunday Morning, I believe it was, or was it on Saturday? I think it was Saturday, the Saturday show. They did a wonderful story with one of their lead anchors on CBS. I can't remember his name. Son of a gun. Was a former college baseball player, and they did a story on how there is like legitimate like these gyms that train pitchers to throw 100-mile-an-hour plus, like, is a legit, like there's a science to it now where they know how to teach these guys how to do it.
Yeah.
That it's not just ability. These are guys that you're in the league and maybe you've only been throwing mid 90s. They're getting these guys to throw triple digits. And there's people that are saying, well, this is detrimental to the league long term because people want to watch people hit the ball. So, is the league putting itself into a hole by having pitchers that are, they're talking about, now granted, I'll believe it when I see it. They're talking about the idea that there's a possibility that a guy can throw into the 108 to 110 range, that we will see that in the future. Is that even possible? I don't know. But these guys who do this stuff, who train these pitchers, are saying it is, and that is fucking nuts.
You want to help that? Because there's a pitcher before. You want to help that? You want to help it? I'll tell you right now how you do it. And Kenny Lofton told me this, and he agrees with me. Just bring out the bunt more. You want to start really getting people afraid, pissed off about the shift? Just bunt the ball more. When you bunt more and you get on base more and you cause more traffic, it causes for more. That it really equalizes the fast pitch. It equalizes everything. When you bunt the ball and you move bases around and you get people in position. Kenny and I talked about this off the camera a lot. He goes, I missed the bunt. He goes, I do too. And you and I laughed about it. I missed the bunt. I love bunting. And it's a part of the game that equalizes that shit.
Yeah.
You want to shift? Dink. You want to throw 100 miles per hour? Dink. I mean, you will hit it. It equalizes everything. And that's why in that era, people were doing that.
Yeah. Even slap bunts. Past that shift on that side.
Yes. Ichiro was the best at it. That's why he should be a Hall of Famer, actually. He was a talented guy who could really get on base. I mean, look, here's the thing about runs scored, what Jared's getting at. The Indians are 18th in runs scored, which I would never thought this year. They're actually not bad. Not bad. Actually, a girl on Instagram, Amy Depp, said, I don't think our lineup's gonna be a bigger problem. She was right. The Yankees, the vaunted Yankees, are in 23rd. 23rd, the Yankees. Teams like Texas, that's a bang, bang, bang. They're only in 24th. The Mets, the mighty Mets, are 29th. The Mets are 29th in runs scored. They're leading the division, and it's not even close in the East.
Yeah, baseball's it's a pitcher's league right now.
It is so weird. If you would have told me the Mets and the Yankees were in the bottom third of runs scored at the All-Star break, I would have lost my house. No way. No way. Like the teams are leading. By the way, guess who's number one? The Astros again. And by a good margin, 20 runs.
Yeah.
By the way, they did not. By the way, they have four All-Stars in the game. None of them are able to attend. They're busy for the All-Star game.
Oh, weird.
They've also decided that they're not going to have their names announced as they. Because they're not even being acknowledged.
Boy.
Is that weird?
No, that's ballsy. That's a team that knows that they did what they did and they're doubling down on it, and they're assholes. They're assholes. And again, because the league didn't hold them accountable, they all they are is a traveling tour of booze. So they just travel to different places and get booed everywhere because the league didn't hold them accountable, and then they get bitter about it. Well, you kind of earned it, and the league didn't hold you accountable, so here we are. So now you want to be, a whiny little prick and not play in the All-Star game, and not going to say not going to say my name. Not going to say my name at the All-Stars.
Why would there not
Go to hell. Go to hell. No time for that shit. Go to hell.
Did the Indians make the playoffs?
Bro. What a joke, man. What a joke. This is why Major League Baseball pisses me off so much. How hard would it have been to hold them accountable and then it's done? Boom, you move on.
There's my
Nobody's been able to move on because Major League Baseball doesn't know what the hell they're doing. And because the Astros are full of pricks who want to continue being pricks. Fine, be pricks.
Going to World Series. Astros are good.
Pricks. They're pricks.
Mm-hmm. I like their manager. I like Dusty Baker a lot.
He's a prick.
I like Dusty. He's a nice man. I really do. I like Dusty Baker a lot.
You get my point.
No, I do.
It just how hard is it? How hard? I mean, I feel like the league takes the simplest things and just makes them hard. Like they want to make people angry. I just feel like that's what the league does. I just I can't. Guy slides in the third and comes off, and you tag him, and yet he's the other guy doesn't have right to the bag. I can't. Let's talk about that one. Tito getting thrown out.
I liked how Tito got thrown out. That was a good Red Auerbach type move there.
Yep.
For people who don't remember, Red Auerbach for the Celtics once or twice a year would tell his coaches, "I'm going to get kicked out today." And when I saw Tito get out, it's like he's ready to get kicked out, and that was appropriately played, and that was well played.
Yep.
That team needed that at that point. All right, so real quickly, then I'll go through a couple more of the baseball things, then we'll wrap up. We'll touch the Cavs and Browns. Yes, you have to. The Indians make the playoffs.
Boy, it's hard to. Let me see something real quick. Damn it! Why did you do this? Boy, oh boy. I mean, I feel like who are they fighting? They're fighting the Blue Jays. How many spots are there? Yeah, I think they make the playoffs.
You really?
I do. I think they make the playoffs.
I love Jared Watson's positivity. I do not. But that does not take away from their wonderful year. They're 4.5 games out. The Rays and the A's are leading. People didn't know the Red Sox. I don't know how. Red Sox are in first place. And then the
there we are. The A's and the Mariners and the Angels. Actually, you know what? Shit. My eyes apparently aren't working. Yeah, it is hard to fathom.
It's gonna be tough. Again, I will repeat, if they can somehow get by this Oakland A's, Houston on the road, then you swing home, play the Rays. If you can get 4-5, 5-4, my God, sign me up. I can see it. I don't think that's gonna happen. I hope I'm wrong. I'll be cheering hard.
I'm wrong often. That's what I tell my wife.
Would you sign for 4-5 on that road trip and Rays at home?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Sign. Boy, I would sign quickly for that before the contract gets taken back. Does Bobby Bradley win Rookie of the Year?
Honest to God, I don't have an answer for that right now. I don't know.
I don't think it's crazy. He's had a very good year. Very, very, very good year.
I forget what are even the rules and how many games does he have to play to even be considered? I can't even remember.
He's going to be fine for that, I think. Ohtani should be your MVP. This year.
By the way, Ohtani's
is
everything, and here we go. He's everything I love about baseball. Everything I love about baseball. Oh, yes.
Starting pitching in the lineup.
Refuses to sign with a team if they don't let him play both.
Good for him. Love it.
Right. You know who doesn't? Oh, Stephen A. Let's talk about that one. He should be fired for that comment. I'll stand by that.
I worked at ESPN for a long time. There's actually some producers, directors, and executive producers in a lot of hot water today.
Yeah.
That was a badly produced segment.
Stephen A. should be fired for that.
Along with some other people.
Yep.
I'm telling you, someone who worked in the business.
I mean, those words, and if you didn't watch it, you're just going to have to go and look at it. But he made a very racist, anti-Asian type statement, anti-immigrant overall type statement about Ohtani being the face of the league. And I was sickened by it. Like, what are you doing, dude?
It wasn't off the cuff either. There's graphics. It was produced.
You can tell. Well, yeah, because there was no hesitation or flinching when he said it.
It was. There's a lot of people there's a lot of good people at ESPN. That does not mean bad things or mistakes don't happen. There's some bad mistakes that happened today.
Well, again, I call that accountability culture, not cancel culture. Accountability. You need to be held accountable for your actions.
That was a bad one. The Cavs are about ready to draft their number 1 draft pick here soon, or number 3. What did I say, number 1? Number 3, Siobhan Yale, good to see you. And then Jimmy, Ola from Vegas. Ola from
Hey, what's going on, Jimmy? Yeah, he was down Fremont, I think, last night.
There you
go. Saw pictures.
Ola from the Hot of Connecticut and Youngstown. Anyways, or Struthers. Okay.
Same difference.
The Cavs, yeah, same thing. Hartford, Cheshire, whatever. New Haven, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. Madison, it doesn't matter. The Cavs have a very big draft pick. I would not make anything else other than saying once the draft pick happens, then you start going down the road. The only road I would go down right now and feel good about, I want Kevin Love to come back and be celebrated for his time. I want Kevin Love to come back and he played such a great Game 7. He did a lot of great things for this team and community. Kevin Love going somewhere else would be good for him, be good for the team, be good for everybody. That'd be my move number 2. Then after that, you can kind of sit and contemplate what you want to do.
So yes, but again, the way that the Cavs front office is running things, I don't know.
Well, we talked about this, and I'll talk about it again, is who is running show.
Right.
Is Dan running show? Is Dan and Son running show?
Right.
And there's a lot that goes into that. We don't know how Dan's health is, and that seems to be very mysterious. And as it should be, it's a very private matter he's going through. But
I mean, he put himself out there again. Speaking of CBS Sunday Morning, he put himself out there for that segment.
He did. I didn't see that.
For CBS, yeah, it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get back out there. You can tell, and I'm happy.
It had to do with them rebuilding homes, revitalizing Detroit, and all the money that
he does a lot.
Rocket Mortgage put back and all that stuff. Yeah.
He does a lot for Detroit. So what to see there? That's the 22nd, so 10 days from now. We're doing a show on July 12th for people listening on the podcast. And then the Browns, if you want to scratch and call about photos at a fight, fine. There's really no Browns news, nor should there be. I did peek my head into the world of college football for a second or two. It's the same usual suspects. A lot of people are questioning. I don't think people remember that Clemson quarterback who played against Notre Dame was very good, that freshman. I think a lot of people are down on Clemson. They're going to be just fine. I know they played Georgia at the beginning of the year, and that's a great game. God, Georgia, Clemson. Woo! Strap me up. But Ohio State's Ohio State. It's the same usual suspects. Alabama, graduate everybody, doesn't matter. We'll find out. I'm being honest when I say that. There was a time in the 80s and 90s when it was like Nebraska, graduate everybody. Doesn't matter. Florida State, graduate everybody. Right now, it's like Alabama, graduate everybody. Clemson, graduate everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if it matters. But I'm very excited about college football. I'm ready for it to be back normalized and fun. I love that sport, and I'm ready for a full season. Like I said, I've been poking my head around there. It's the same usual suspects. There's some teams that are, highs and lows. There's a great article today done on college football recruiting in the state of Ohio, actually. And obviously, Ohio State dominates. But the thing I got out of that article, which disheartens me as I love Purdue, is the second team in that state is clearly Cincinnati in recruiting. And what was the alarming thing is that if there is no – and when I was growing up, Michigan did really, really well in Ohio. In fact, they did really well in Cleveland. Everett, Elvis Gerback, Desmond Howard, all these are Cleveland kids. The coaches around the big Toledo's, the Clevelands, the Columbuses, they all weighed in Cincinnati's. They say there is no Harbaugh, Michigan impact in the state of Ohio at all.
That's
None.
incredible to hear.
From the Schembechler, Lloyd Carr days where they could just scoop up players. My God. I mean, Michigan got so many good Ohioans coming to playing for Michigan. Boy, those days are long gone.
That's really incredible to hear. But it goes along with what I've been saying the whole time is I don't know why they're tying their horse to Harbaugh. I just don't get it.
It's a big story. That's going to be a big – you don't even have to read a tabloid college football magazine. That's going to be a story, a big one. The other one that kind of occurred to me, Jared, now that there's nothing from Penn State in Ohio, nothing. That was another school. They got a lot. You know, O.J. McDuffie, Curtis Enos, those are Ohio kids. Kajana Carter. I mean, none of those guys, all those guys are Ohio kids. They're not on the radar either. In fact, they got more. I heard more praise in an article for Rutgers. Isn't that interesting?
Well,
I found that to be interesting. It's in the Athletic.
That says some things, man.
Purdue, nothing. Kentucky does well, which says a lot because Kentucky's playing much better in the last 3 or 4 years. That program has been improved. Power of the SEC, by the way.
Well, make sure you check out the podcast at clevelandbeyond.net. All the episodes are right there for you. Also, you subscribe wherever podcasts are found. Follow us on Twitter at CLE and Beyond. Shoot us an email, andyandjared@gmail.com. That's JARID. And Andy's on Instagram after every Indians game at official.
Every
Cleveland
single
Sports.
fucking one.
At
It's going to be
official,
a tough Friday night, 1 a.m. Ugh.
at official Cleveland Sports. My ass isn't in bed.
Any
and
chance,
asleep.
Jared Watson? No.
I can't even stay up to watch those. I can watch like 20 minutes of that game. That's it. And I'm cashing out and going to sleep, brother.
In Oakland, that's the first innings. Those games,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, games in Oakland go long. I mean, long games.
I just don't stay up that late anymore, man. I don't know. We are a part of Waiting for Next Year. Check out original Cleveland sports reporting at Waiting for Next
long
Year.
Games.
And we are proudly a part of Evergreen Podcast.
Yes, we are.
Andy, anything else? I think that covers almost everything, right?
This is the first time I've done this show with Jared. There's always been one team. It's like they're kind of dark. Like there's always one time. It's like a team's dark. The Cavs and the Cavs are 10 days away from the draft. And there is nothing about this.
I know.
Nothing. Couldn't
It's
find
been
it.
super quiet. But we did,
Browns is
you know what?
expected.
We did need to do something with the Indians like this, like we did today. So I'm glad that we did that.
Okay, we did well-rounded stuff. Here's one or two quick things I'm done. I have been watching. Game 3 was good. Do you watch anything in NBA Finals?
I tuned in for a touch of it last night.
It was a good game last night. Good crowd in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Oh, they were fired up. Antetokounmpo he's going to score 40 in like every game.
Kid is unreal. Kid can play. And the Suns,
loved him forever.
God, if the Cavs can copy and be the Suns someday, that would be a dream come true. The Suns they're going to win the NBA championship.
Pretty, I don't know. It was fun to watch for a little bit. And then that was it. I didn't no tennis. You get into tennis? I didn't get into tennis.
It's the first year I can ever remember I didn't watch 1 minute of Wimbledon. I didn't watch 1 minute. I like Wimbledon, and I didn't watch a second. Couldn't tell you what. Like I looked down like Djokovic won. I'm like, yep. Like went on my day.
England and Italy.
That was exciting.
I mean, I followed it only because every time I logged onto Twitter, there was like a million different tweets about it. But that was it.
Here's my thing. I love the World Cup. I really do. I love the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I am the exact opposite about these other things. I don't care.
Right.
Euro, don't care.
Yeah.
Copa, what? Nope.
I don't care about any of that stuff.
I mean, I do care
I think there's
about
a lot of people that pretend to care too. So
yeah, it's like
cliche
it's like,
or it's catchy or whatever.
Are you worried that U.S. lost to Nigeria before the Olympics started? Basketball team.
Did they?
Yes, they did. Kevin Durant played too. Lost to Nigeria.
Well, that's not good. They're not supposed to lose.
I just saw that score go down. I'm like, wow, 97-87 Nigeria. Really? What's basketball? Whoa, jeez. I was like, okay.
That's surprising. Well,
that was surprising. So, Olympics in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we're gonna try to keep doing this on Mondays. For everyone, like I am literally in the middle of moving into my house hell. This has been the longest process of anything I've ever done. There's still that paint that needs to be taken care of and bathrooms that are not operational, but I've got about 8 million boxes around and we're playing musical boxes. Take this one downstairs, bring this one upstairs, unpack this one. Now take this one and put it over in that corner. Like it's just all fucking day. Oh, and then I got to hang a curtain. It's just,
Did you take the laundry down? That's what I mean. No.
Oh, my laundry's put away. I did that. I put my laundry away. I washed 2 loads. You know what though? You know what I did unpack though? I'm very happy about my totems. My totems, all 3 of them. And you know what? I told my wife, I said, I need a Cavs one. She said, you don't need a Cavs one. I said, yes, I fucking do. I have the Browns. I have the Indians.
How
I have
can
the
you
Buckeyes.
not have a slide?
I need the Cavs one. So I'll be making that purchase.
You need the Cavs one.
All right. So Mondays, we're going to keep trying to do this Mondays, right? Is that what we're doing?
We'll recap the A's. I hope there's more college football. A week from today, you'd think there'd be more NBA draft talk. I hope so.
Yeah.
And then Browns, I don't think you're seeing anything from the Browns till end of July.
Jim, and I apologize. Saibon? How do I pronounce that name? Feel free to message me and tell me because I am very particular about making sure I pronounce names correctly. Thanks for tuning in. Javius, EJ, Matt, everybody. Kevin Adkins. What is it?
Siobhan.
Is it Siobhan? It's Siobhan.
Siobhan Yale worked with me at ESPN.
It is pronounced Siobhan. Oh, well, thanks for helping, Andy. Sorry, Siobhan.
I thought for a second, I'm like, what is he pronouncing? Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying real hard. I really was. And I wanted to make sure I got it right, but I didn't know. I had no coffee today. All right, so that's it.
I'm trying to move. Oh, Jared.
No, not today.
Jared. Hello, Jimmy from Vegas. Put some money down on them Browns.
Oh, dude. Jimmy, maybe I'll message you. I think I need to Venmo you like $100. Put on the Browns.
Bet the house. Your wife won't mind.
Send me your Venmo. I'll message Steph. All right. He's Andy Billman. I'm Jared Watson. This is Cleveland and Beyond. Thanks for tuning in. Talk again soon. Love
Jim, don't
all.
get too excited.
Love you all.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
The house.
The house. I'm not betting the house, Jim. I should though, man. I know it's a Garen.
You already built it. You got a little house on the prairie.
Talk again soon.
Bye-bye.
Monday, right? We can do it Monday?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yeah, we'll be here. Breaking down Colin Sexton trade rumors.
Cleveland and Beyond with Andy and Jared is a part of Evergreen Podcast. You can follow them on Facebook at facebook.com/Cleveland and Beyond, on Twitter at CLE and Beyond, or shoot them an email at andyandjared@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit the website, clevelandandbeyond.com.